Hello, welcome my dear friends. Welcome to the day 2 session of Knowledge Capsule this week. And I'm very happy to tell you that today is Tuesday. I gave you the timetable yesterday. Today is Tuesday. So let's check what we are discussing here on Tuesday. And let me take you through my slides. Yes, let me take you through my slides. It's Knowledge Capsule 1 and it's Tuesday and we are discussing about foundational numeracy. It's for the very first time that I've come on a social media to discuss about numeracy, and I am really excited to share some aspects about foundational literacy. But let's see what the statistics has to say about foundational numeracy. The National Education Policy, the draft says that our education system lacks foundational numeracy, which is not application based. A very important observation. My dear friends, children are learning skills in their classroom. They can understand and work out problems in their books, in their worksheets, but they are not able to apply the skills that they learned in the classroom to solve a real life problem. That means they can do addition sums in their book, but they cannot solve a problem using addition as a skill in their life. So this is the major observation that National Education Policy draft has thrown light on, and it is a major concern for us because the rate of failure in foundational literacy is also very huge. So let's move ahead and try to understand foundational literacy in a better way. So what is numeracy in early years? So when we say numeracy and when we try to connect with early years, from the beginning, if you're a trainee, if you're a teacher, if you're a parent, then let's rewind ourselves and come to, the starting position and try to understand what is this numeracy, why the child may need this numeracy. So we'll get to know about these things. The ability to understand and work with numbers. There are two things with foundational numeracy. One is the ability to understand and work with numbers. And the second is the ability to reason and apply numerical concepts. So even to begin with, foundational numeracy covers from the age of 2 to 6 plus. So the age group of 2 to 6 plus is considered to be the foundational years or early years. And this can be extended up to 8 years. Certain concepts can be extended to 8 years because in case there is a slight confusion or if the child has missed out on any concept, then there is a possibility for us to correct within 8 years. So 2 to 6 years is basically the foundational years, and the child should gain the ability to understand and work with numbers and the ability to reason and apply the numerical concepts in real life. What is numeracy skill? So the child will need a skill to use this concept. What is numeracy skill? It refers to the ability to use, interpret, and communicate mathematical information to solve real world problems. So now how the child will use this skill, how the child can interpret this, and how the child can communicate using the mathematical information. So there is a lot of logical reasoning that is required for the child, and the activities that we conduct in our classrooms, in our homes to develop this reasoning and to develop this ability is called as numeracy skills. The basic skills for early years are, the basic ones are recognition, registration, and identification of number concept, number in series, comprehending number sense. Whatever you have with numbers, the child should be able to comprehend. That means comprehend means doing activities and finding out from the child to what level the child has understood. With this general awareness of some general skills like comparing, contrasting, grouping, sorting, everything is required, which I will be discussing in my upcoming segments. But when it comes to very foundational years, these are the very basic skills: recognition, registration, and identification. When I say recognition, registration, and identification, can you tell me what could be the line of separation? What could be that line of difference that makes recognition, registration, and identification different? So now let me just help you out in understanding what is recognition, what is registration, and what is identification. So recognition is something, a visual memory. So you show number one flashcard, you show a square shape, anything, the child will store that as a visual memory. It is called as recognition, and now the child can recognize that. So while you, in your elaboration process, when you talk about the patterns involved in the letter formation or in the number formation, the child will recognize that number one is none other than a standing line. So the child will keep this information to recognize number one, that it is one standing line. It could be anything that the child will use to recognize that particular thing. One, it becomes visual memory, but with that we attach a concept for the child to keep it in memory, and that is one standing line is number one. Similarly, when you go with number two, it is one closed curve and a sleeping line. So now the child can recognize that what is number one, what is number two. Next is registration. So what is registration? Now the child will have to register the number. So as we're discussing about numeracy, I will take examples of numbers. Now the child is expected to, it could be anything. The example could be anything. It could be shades, it could be patterns, it could be numbers, it could be anything. Registration is now the child should register this. That means it should absorb everything about, if it is a flashcard, whatever you're showing. So if you're showing flashcard 2, after recognition, now the child, there is a chance that the child may forget this. So there is equal probability. So now if you want the child to hold this information in long-term memory, then this number flashcard should be registered. Now we'll have to, in this phase, we'll have to do all the possible activities so that this pattern or this number or this shape registers in the child's brain. So we'll discuss what are the activities that we can do in this registration phase, where it permanently gets inside the brain. So then it gets into the brain, the information gets processed and helps the child to register this number. Next is identification. After recognition, after registration, now it's identification. When you put this number among other numbers or in a wrong way, you write 2, 2, 2, the odd one out. Generally, we do it in the class, and one different 2 or reverse 2. So anywhere wherein the child is now identify which is the right one, why it is the right one, with the reason why it is the right one, why the other one is wrong, and why it is wrong. If the child is able to analyze and reason this, yes, then the child can definitely identify that particular number, shape, pattern, or anything from the rest. Then the child would have acquired all these three very, very essential skills in early years. This recognition, registration, and identification, this doesn't apply only to the numbers. It applies to everything that the child is learning in early years, and especially as we start in the pre-kinder program from 2 plus around 3. So when you start the program, these are the 3 important skills that the child should develop. And as educators, we must facilitate the child to acquire this skill of recognition, registration, and identification. And now moving ahead, what are the basic operational skills in early and primary years? So I'm extending this to primary years as well. The basic operations that the child will have to now learn is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. These are the basic operations, and we have some variations in this which we will discuss in our coming segments. Now, why is numeracy important in our life, in the child's life at the age of 2 plus and above? Why is numeracy important? Numeracy is important to facilitate everyday activities. What do we mean by facilitate? Facile means to make it easy. So facile means to make it easy, and the person who can make it easy is called a facilitator. And if you are involved in the process of facilitation, then it is called as facilitate. It makes the child's everyday activities very, very easy. So now this skill is again very important to apply and to solve real life problems. This is the main objective of numeracy, which we should all think seriously about. So solving real life problem, it is just not mere enough for the child to solve problems in their books, on worksheets and other things. The child should be, we must see to that every concept that we introduce in class, the child should be able to relate that to a real life scenario, and should be able to solve a problem or find a solution. So this is the main objective and the importance of numeracy in early years. Where is numeracy or math? So numeracy is for early years, and as the child progress for the primary years, it becomes maths. Now, where is numeracy? Do you think numeracy is present only in our classrooms? Let me tell you, numeracy skills aren't always taught in classrooms. It's not possible, because the environment is full of maths. So wherever the child, is going around or experiencing the environment, the concept of maths is around the child. It is only the child who needs to explore that. So maths is everywhere. And in our coming segment, that is in that next Tuesday, we shall discuss where is maths, right? And how many numeracy skills? Okay, now I'm talking about numeracy skills. I gave you 3 basic skills: recognition, registration, and identification. There are many skills required. It is not the only 3 skills. Now, can you put this in comment box and tell me what are the numeracy skills that the child need to acquire in early years? I would love to read it in the comment box if you can put it across. But let me give you the good news. I will be talking about 20 key numeracy skills in my next segment. So my next segment, please wait for me, wherein I will reveal the 20 key skills that the child need. And you will be surprised to know those 20 key skills. And I'll tell you how to adopt these 20 skills at the age of 2+, 3+, 4+, 5+. So 2 to 6 is our period of time, and I'll tell you how these skill sets has to be nurtured in 2, 3, 4, and 5 years. So for today, we are done with foundational numeracy. It was a very good start. If you think there was some information useful for you, don't forget to like, share, and comment. I will be really eagerly looking forward to read your comments. So please do put your comments. If you like this video, please share it with your friends. Invite your friends to like this page. And tomorrow is Wednesday, so I think probably we are meeting with environment and awareness. For today, I wish all of you a very happy learning. Tata, bye-bye. See you tomorrow.